let's see if we're in the frame here. We are in the frame. All right. Oh man, what a session. It's after 2 in the morning now. There we go. You gotta have the throw with the proper spin. It's been one of those days, guys. Been one of those days. Man, my son has been wild. So that's to say the least. It's, you know, with him, it's one of those things where he's extremely smart. He's autistic, but he's extremely smart. And the smarter that he gets, coupled along with his inability to communicate, makes it more difficult for him. Man, the tough thing is when you're a parent, you think about, dude, this is really hard for me. But, you know, it's hard for me because it's hard for him. So as I live in a day of, and that's the best I can describe it, he's lived the day in pure torture. So as hard as it is for me, I have to keep reminding myself that it's harder for him, much harder for him. But you know, I don't know if I have any photos or videos I can include of what my day was like with him. If I do, I'll include it now. I know I got a good, we had a good time outside today. He had just about lit every candle that could be lit, so to speak, inside the house by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I took him outside for an hour or so, and just, wow. Whatever you think that he can't get into, he absolutely does get into. So anyway, I got him in bed, or got him in the bath tonight. I know I've got some video of him in the bathtub, just upset about, not really for sure what, but that video was almost 10 o'clock, trying to get him tired to get to bed. Got him to bed, and I got back downstairs just before 11. My wife got to bed, and it's just, you know, we have one of those like 5 minutes of a little bit of quietness downstairs, and, you know, a bunch of I love yous, and, you know, plans for tomorrow, and I'll cook this, you know, do you want me to cook that? She doesn't want shrimp because she had fish today. She made fish. She made me fish. I really don't like fish, but I like when she makes tsipuran lavraki. I don't really know what that is in English, but I buy it, and she takes all the bones out of it for me, and I mean, she cooks it just, and she made sweet potatoes and potatoes to go along with it. She knows I love sweet potatoes. And then I made a bunch of odds and ends, nothing big, just odds and ends for, you know, for everybody to snack on, mostly for me to snack on. But I'm rambling on, but this is the first time I've had a chance to talk to anybody all day. It's you know, you're getting to listen. Somebody commented on my videos I read this morning, and it's probably I've probably done this workout a week or two ago by the time you get a chance to watch it. But I listened to watched a YouTube comment today, and someone said they felt like they were having a post-workout conversation with their training partner. You know, me sitting here talking, and that was the exact perfect thing that I needed to hear. That's the exact perfect thing, and that's you know, I don't really like people. I don't really enjoy training partners, but I do enjoy the conversation after training. You know, and I'll end up staying at the gym an extra hour and a half after training, just because, you know, training's over and I finally get to shoot the breeze with somebody, anybody. You know, I talked a couple of weeks ago about the importance of having me time. And so that's what I tried to do when I got everybody to bed, was to get down here and have some me time. But I didn't really get the chance. I had to do a little bit of work. And, you know, fish isn't exactly the best pre-workout, post-workout food. Although it's not bad post-workout. As soon as you're done, it's really quick digesting. and it's really light. You can just swallow some down and get everything moving. So I did make, I made 2 T-bones that turned out amazing. I had one before training, and then I'll eat one before going to bed. It was absolutely phenomenal. But that put me at not, getting my hands on the log till after 1 o'clock in the morning, which it's not ideal, but it's getting the training sessions in, and all these training sessions, hopefully gonna add up. So the goal is Masters World's Strongest Man. Qualifies first. I have no idea how that's gonna work. I have no idea how that's gonna work anymore. Pretty much all the spots for next year are already full. So I would have to be good enough to beat the people who qualified this year to get a spot. But that's the goal. 1 training session at a time. All I can do is get in here at 1 o'clock in the morning and log press from 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, you guys don't want to hear about that. I did the log press. Today was the 97.5% week. Everything felt decently solid. Wearing that bow tie, a half hour before I train, and then while I'm warming up, Bruce, no, get off the kitchen, get. Cat. Wearing the bow tie during warm-ups and a half hour before training seems to make a really big difference, and it cuts down on my need for warm-ups greatly. Shoulders, pecs, elbows, triceps, biceps, lats, they feel, they're much less stiff by the time I do my first set. I just kept it on, worked through the whole training session. So, I felt like I could have just skipped the 97.5% week, but it was supposed to be 97.5%, which I rounded out to 107.5. Last week was 105 or 231. I did for a double, clean each rep. So this week I went ahead and went with the 107.5, which, it's 236, 237, something like that. First rep went fine. The last several weeks, the first rep has been really, really bad, and the second rep's been pretty decent. My back's feeling really kind of messed up. I worked way too many hours yesterday sitting in a chair. But I got the first rep. I reached down and picked up the second one and got the second one. So I think the biggest thing that I have not done this last week was I've lost a little bit of weight, but that's fine. I know it's going to come off. If I can gain 3 pounds, 4 pounds in the next week, which is a decent day of eating food, and that's just, I can gain weight by doing the cardio. Me doing cardio and reverse hypers and some tricep pump work every couple of days is going to help me gain weight drastically. It fills the muscles full of blood and glycogen and water and all the good nutrients and stuff. And that's a big part of me being able to maintain nutrition, maintain glycogen, maintain a pump, and gain weight. It's very, very key for me. You catch people that go in and they cut 15 pounds to make weight at a contest, and the next day they feel flat. Well, you should have a pump. If you got on the scale at 8 o'clock that morning and you made weight, you're not going to get a pump anytime soon. But by that afternoon or that evening, your goal should be to get a pump. And you should be doing little mini workouts throughout the day just to get a pump. Biceps, upper back, lats, quads, anything like that. Getting the pump is a huge indicator that your body is back filled with glycogen, and working towards getting that pump is part of what gets the glycogen from your bloodstream into your muscles, helps you fill the muscles, fill the liver, fill the bloodstream, and be ready to compete the next day. Laying around and doing nothing is not the answer. It's hardly ever the answer for anything, laying around doing nothing. I don't care what the problem is. So I know what I can do to get better for next week. It was in the plan today, 9 reps of accessories, 3 sets of 3, or 5 sets of 3. So I've got between 9 and 15 reps of accessories. It's very low accessories because it was heavy work on the core lift. I went to warm up with the axle, and it was like I grabbed the axle and it's like I just forgot how to clean. So I backed up and walked away. It used to happen all the time in weightlifting. You know, some days you just grab the bar and it's like, I don't know how to do this anymore. You know what happened? My brain just farted. So I did my first set. Left shoulder felt a little funny. And the more I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do 11 of 12 weeks worth of work and end up with a funky left shoulder because I pushed a stupid axle with 80 kilograms on it. In week 11. I'm not going to do that. So I just stopped there, went to the floor press. Man, I struggled like crazy just getting under the axle for floor presses. They felt pretty easy, almost as easy as I think last week did. And I just stopped there. Went on ahead and did some hamstring work, which those are absolute killers, by the way. I did a bunch of push-ups, which those are really, really great to do very, very frequently. The more bouncy you can make that, the better. And work to find the grip that is your strongest and your weakest, and work both of those. And then I got back on the rower, which is going to be very key for me gaining weight again and maintaining the lats, the upper back that I need to press big. So I've got issues in the upper back with movement, mobility. Body doesn't want to do a whole lot, and it's not really solved by someone sticking an elbow in my back and massaging and rubbing. Physiotherapists could do a lot of good, but really I need someone to work on my upper back about 3 times a week, and to work on movement. And I can't afford that. I don't think that I'm in a position to do that. I want to say right now, but probably not ever. But when it comes down to movement, if I can get that upper back to move, and I know I can't row like my son and my wife does, and everyone does on the rowing team. They're leaned way back and they're pulling to their upper chest across here. You see most people pulling down to their belly button, and they're pulling to this line back here to make the longest stroke possible. I can't quite get it to where they are doing it, but I can do almost like a face pull at the top. I use the upper back and the rear delts. That's also a ton of abs for me, having to balance and lean back and hook my feet in there to keep my body in that leaned back position, and going back in for the next rep is a lot of abs and me pulling my legs to pull myself in the rower. So I have diastasis recti, abdominal wall split open. I mean, it's not common, but it's not uncommon either. So the more that I can do in that area where I'm working the secondary wall muscles in my abdominal area, the better. The better my back's going to feel, the better, more stable everything's going to feel. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why you see in a lot of my videos, I've got this belly that sticks out so freaking far. And people comment all the time, dude, you're really fat. And then I can take my shirt off, and then you see me like training, and you see abs. Or you might catch a vein running down the side of my abs. And that's blown away some training partners' mind that I look fat until you see me and I've got this ab. Well, my abdominal wall is split open and everything just kind of has expanded out. My intestines are swollen all the time anyway, so that pushes everything out. But I've talked entirely too long to keep anybody here listening. So the plan this week, going through the week, this is my beginning of the week. Tomorrow I've got a deadlift. And I pulled my 100% for a triple last week. So this next week, tomorrow night, we'll start my deadlift program all over again with the lightest. I'm at 75% for a double. But then I've got a bunch of accessories to get done, a ton of accessories. Once again, core lift shrinks, accessories expand. Everything matches the recovery. So I go back and I review what I did the last 12 weeks. What kind of results did it produce? What are my new weaknesses? What are the program's strengths and weaknesses? Keep the strengths, drop the weaknesses. So I'm probably going to, if I can, it's going to be a major noise complaint. If I can deadlift with chains, that would be ideal for the next 12 weeks. Only with 75%, and then I'm back down to my speed deads after that, and a lot of accessories at the end of all of that. So deadlifts will be a lot of volume, not much intensity. Box squats, the intensity, I've got an option to deload. Knocked on plastic wood-ish. I'll hit some, our stairs are actual wood. I'll knock on the wood in a minute. But knee feels pretty solid. Continue to feel solid. I can either deload or I can move up to threes, which would be something like 6 or 7 sets of 3. And just continue to work up on my box squats over the next several weeks. That'll be heavier. I've got some stuff on the yoke that I'm going to work on as well. So that's getting progressively heavier, and I have to be careful what my accessories are on that and fine tune everything so I can recover. And then for loading on Thursday, I'm back to stones, and I'm pretty sure I'm still with a really, really light stone, 190 pound Atlas stone, 84, 85 kilogram Atlas stone for more reps. And I've got to work on getting the height that I need on that. So a lot of it still comes down to hamstrings and health, lower back, getting a pump, and some cardio. So just moving every single day, and I realized, I was warming up today, and I'm going to say this at the very beginning. This may be a key thing that you may need to hear, and it's something that I know I need to hear myself say. I need to start squatting to pick stuff up off the floor. My back has been messed up for so long, and this sounds really, really strange, but they say, when you're, lift with your legs, not your back, you're going to hurt your back. Whenever your back hurts, you never squat down to pick anything up anymore. When your back hurts, you still bend over. You may stick one leg out, you may lean over to the side, but you still bend over to save your back when your back hurts. And that's really all I've done. Is if I drop something in the floor, it's just forget it, I'll get another one. Or you call the dog over, the cat over, you ask one of your kids or your wife to help you. Or you just bend over straight with back and you pick it up. And I don't think that's done me any favors for my back. And it hit me the other day that when something's on the floor, maybe I drop something, maybe I pick up my shoes, maybe I want to play with my son on the floor. I no longer squat down to the floor. I no longer squat down to the bar. I couldn't clean or snatch. There's no way, because there's no way I could, I know I could squat down to the bar just naturally. So I need to do that every single day, as many times as possible. I need to squat, down to squat, go to a knee, the other knee, stand up. Squat, go to a knee, the other knee, stand up. That's a key to a big overhead press, being able to get down into a full squat position. Another key to a big overhead press is being able to jump. Sometimes yesterday and today, it's hurt to step down the stairs. Every step that you go down the stairs, I feel my spine a little bit pop, pop, pop. Doing the floor press, laying on the floor, first set wasn't bad, but after that first set, as my spine began to decompress in that way against the floor, it hurt my back like crazy. I've got to be able to squat, and I've got to be able to jump. This week, Atlas stones, you probably won't see me doing front squats inside, because it's rough to put tacky on, and I've got to set up all the outside for Atlas stones and protect it from hard Atlas stone drops. So it takes a lot longer to do Atlas stones than it does sandbags. But I can still do plyometric jumps outside. I mean, I've got stairs, I've got steps. I can set up, more rubber mats to do any kind of jumps. I guarantee you the guys at Extreme Stores would let me get a foam plyo box and put it on payments for 6 months or a year, and pick up something like that I could play with. It's a really good idea. Those guys are way too nice to me. But I've got to be able to jump. If you're going to press straight up in the air, you watch me press, I'm leaning way back and I'm bending my knees forward again, because nothing feels comfortable to jump. So I've got to work on my jumps. The more that I do that incorrectly, the more risk I'm going to put on the knee and on my back as I'm leaning back, and I'm not getting any leg drive into the log by doing that. So I've got a lot to work on, and it either feels overwhelming or there are so many opportunities for me to get better that I can start pretty much anywhere and make progress. So I'm pretty excited. I've just about finished up. I finished up 12 weeks of a deadlift program, which is big. I've almost finished 12 weeks of a log press program, and today only called for 1 rep at 97.5%. But if I can do 2, and I felt like I could have squeaked out 3, then next week hitting a single at 110, shouldn't be an issue, you know. And if I feel good, I may just go until I miss. We'll wait and see. Who knows? That's some big predictions. But I've accomplished a lot, and I've got a lot of opportunities ahead of me because I've put the hard work in. And a phrase I heard earlier is, you cannot fake hard work. You cannot fake hard work. You can fake a lot of things in life, but you cannot fake hard work. And you know, if I don't get the results, it will not be for lack of hard work. It will not be for lack of effort. I feel that I've put, you know, as much time, effort, planning, food, sacrifice into my training as anyone else has, you know, except for the top guys, top pros. And I'm deserving of a little bit of success. So if I don't get the success that I want, take the pill, break it into small pieces, swallow it, start again. So I'm getting not out of here. I'm going over there to work, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for deadlifts. Have a good one, guys.